So from that moment, I started looking more to Italian races, to the history of the Italian cycling, and I get in love with Italy. I have a look on tour a little bit. I think this year was important to race more at the beginning with Remco to know better each one. I think it's important to spend time together because we cannot make mistakes during the tour.
What do you think? What makes a great climber? Hello everyone and welcome to the Castelli podcast. In today's episode we have a special treat for all you cycling fans out there. We are thrilled to bring you some invaluable climbing tips from none other than Mikel Landa, one of the best World Tour climbers and a guy that knows how to ride Grand Tours with 2 third overall places at the Giro, 3 Grand Tour stage wins, and he knows how to win Grand Tours with his team, helping Chris Froome to victory in 2016 and 2017. So get ready to elevate your climbing game as we embark on this thrilling journey with Mikel Landa. Let's dive in. Mikel, first of all, I would like to wish you a happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños. 34 years of age.
Yes, 34.
It's time is flying. How many years have you been in the pro peloton now?
In the pro peloton, 14 years. 13 of them like a World Tour rider. Still, if I look back, it's quite long.
Yeah, you started out with Euskaltel, and you're from the Basque Country. So I think it was a normal mix, no? A match.
Yeah, it's been, I think, a natural way to become a pro rider, no? Fortunately, we had a perfect team of perfect structure to become pro riders in those days. We had a development team, Conti team, and then Euskaltel. So I think I followed the steps to become pro, and one day my dream became true. And then to feel like a real pro, that I could be a good cyclist, I think that I realized when I was already in Euskaltel. After couple of years being pro cyclist, I say maybe this is my way, no? Because I was also studying at the same time. So I never been 100% focused on cycling. But at one moment I need to decide, and I think it was after a couple of years.
How is it to be from the Basque Country and be one of the best in the game, but also you won 2 of the Basque Country twice, if I remember right? I mean, you must be a national hero in your home area.
Cycling in Basque Country is very popular. I think most of us, we are cyclists, no? Some of us, we are riders. Other people is just cyclotourists, no? Not a pro rider or rider, just they love cycling. Other them, they like supporting cycling, no? So at the end, I think it's very popular in Basque Country, and everyone like and feel a lot, no, the cycling. So being part of the game in Tour of Basque Country always been special.
It must be very special. But also, the Basque Country is also known for its changes in climate, because you can have hot summer days to very cold and wet days. I think that also strengthens you as a cyclist growing up in such a climate, because also today you still live back home from where in the Basque Country, right, with your family. I'm lucky, no. I didn't need to move my place of living, never, no. I think I found everything I need in Basque Country to become a pro rider and still ride like a pro being there. We had enough long climbs, hilly parcours, also flat parcours, and then we have the weather. Sometimes it's wet, cold, but after spring I think we have very smart weather. So I think it's perfect area for being cyclist. Yeah. No, I visited the area a few times and really enjoyed it. I just remember everything apart from the climbs and the rolling landscapes, then also the beauty, the colors, everything was green versus other places. If you go further south in Spain, it quickly becomes very dry and desert. So, and also Mikel, a warm welcome back in Castelli and congrats on your 2-year contract with Soudal Quick-Step. Do you still remember last time we met in person? That was 6 years ago in 2017. Or do you more remember the Team Sky kit that we came in sponsoring the team with the victory lines? Mm-hmm. It's also, again, the same year you helped Remco to his last tour victory. But for us, that was a special year, but also your results also in general that season were pretty amazing. Are you looking forward to getting back into Castelli gear for the coming 2 years?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be again with Castelli kit. I have very good memories from 2017 with that bike fit. So I'm really happy to wear again, and I feel safe with Castelli again. I think it's more or less easy to have a nice summer kit. I think the difference is made in winter kit, and I feel comfortable and safe with Castelli now again.
Additionally, when the weather changes to the worst, then it's where the whole fall weather products of Castelli they come in, and it's a product that we keep having requests, as you know yourself, from also non-sponsored Castelli cyclists from around the world, especially the world tour. Every time that the weather gets worse, they're always calling us asking for products if they could buy this or that. So, Mikel, you already touched a little bit on your early years with how you got into pro cycling, but tell us about how you got into cycling in general. Who was it? Your dad, your father? Was it someone in your family that gave you that push to start with cycling?
Well, I think I grew up with a bike at home, and I used to use the bike to meet my friends. We were living close between us, but maybe not enough to meet us walking. So we use always the bikes, and it was like a game, just riding the bike. Then in my village was a cycling club, and I always saw them say, I like this, I like racing. And finally, when I was 14 years old, I asked to my parents to join the school of cycling, and I started racing. And fortunately, I found a very nice group of friends there. I still have like a friends, and that's what I take the best of cycling, the group we did. And yes, I think since then I never stopped.
Did anyone else from that group turn professional like yourself?
No, from the first years.
But you're still in contact with everyone today, and you still meet up.
Yeah. We are still friends, like kids friends.
And you go for bike rides maybe once in a while when you're home, you're not racing, or.
Yeah, maybe not for bike riding, but always for take some drinks or going for dinner. Yeah, we are still good friends, best friends.
But since you're also from, but no offense, from the older generation of the pro peloton, you said that now have a few drinks. Today you see with the younger generation, they hardly ever touch alcohol. I mean, I don't know that many that really touch alcohol anymore. But it is nice, once in a while, just have a beer or have a drink and just, chill with your friends. And there's still something that you enjoy.
Yeah, I think it's really, really neat. I think cycling is my life, but I need life also to be a cyclist,
To detach yourself a little. Yeah.
I think, we need some disconnection moments to... Yeah.
And the social aspects it also creates when sitting down with friends,
to feel... stronger, for the next day and fully relaxed. And
also because, as we know from studies and from science, that one drink once in a while doesn't hurt anything. I've heard rumors in the pro tour. I don't know if it's true or not. Alejandro Valverde, once in a while he will have a beer on the bus driving back to the hotel. Now you've been, teammate with Alejandro. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, it's true. He took one beer a day when he really wanted. I think, he was super professional.
look at his palmares just like yourself.
Yeah. And how many years he did, the high level. Yeah, and he felt that he needed it, and he was convinced that he was good for him.
Gives a little bit of extra, also relaxing boost that, like, you know, after the recovery shake and everything, you know, you just can have that relaxed moment, enjoying your beer. So, Mikel, growing up, when did you find out that you have a talent for cycling and racing, and especially climbing?
I feel climber since I think since juniors, no? Yeah, when I was younger, it was difficult to finish the races because I was always the smallest in the bunch, so not easy. But then in juniors, I started to make some difference climbing, no? And so I felt like a climber, and also my idols, they were also always climbers.
Who were your cycling heroes? Childhood cycling heroes?
Yeah, my biggest heroes was Ivan Mayo from Euskaltel. I have also in mind Roberto Eras, and yeah, those kind of climbers that make difference. And
yeah, I remember my days working with Sunia Duval. Also, Ivan was there. Very interesting person, very nice person. Do you know him personally, Ivan, or?
No. I don't know him.
And myself, I was a big fan of Pantani, like a lot of other people, of course, but also, unfortunately, he's no longer here since many years. Jimenez, that's also a long time ago. What about Carlos Sastre?
He didn't transmit nothing special to me, but I always appreciate him like a big rider.
Because, like you said, what it doesn't transmit to you is like what I like to see about Pantani, but also Contador. Is like when they're out of the saddle and, you know, do these more explosive accelerations and surprising everyone. I mean, you knew that when they were, especially Pantani, when he was, which is also something I've seen you do often when you're in the drops, you know, it means that there's something on. Is that right? Or
yeah. It's like it's the moment to go.
So you actually move around a lot on the handlebars. You know, doing when you're climbing. I mean, you're up in the hoods. It's more relaxed, just keeping the pace but when you do drops, it means now things are getting serious. Okay. Do you still remember your first race as a professional cyclist? And what was it like?
Yeah, I remember. It was at the Challenge of Mallorca with Orbea. It was a continental team. Well, with rainy and cold weather. But I was feeling good. I remember I was attacking in some climbs with against the riders from Euskaltel. They were my idols, and a lot of good riders. I have very good memories from that day.
You always remember your first race or your first races, no? Versus later in your career with some of the bigger highlights, maybe. So there were some of the cornerstones in your career, those early steps. Mm-hmm. So you were once quoted saying that the Giro d'Italia is the most beautiful race on the cycling calendar, both because of its demanding route and la passione dei tifosi, the fans, passion of the fans. Your career, what I see breakthrough came at the 2015 Giro d'Italia with 2 stage wins, finishing 3rd overall and winner of the Maglia Azzurra, the KOM climbers jersey. Tell us more about your love for the Giro d'Italia and why do you think it's different to the other Grand Tours?
Well, so I think I met Giro d'Italia in 2014. I was riding with Astana, but it was a team from Kazakhstan, but with a lot of Italians members, like staff or also riders. So yeah, I think that helps to know a little bit more, no, about the Italian races, to have the different feeling. So I knew the roads better, the tricky sections. I have more close the fans, I think, because they knew a lot of us. So from that moment, I started looking more to Italian races, to the history of the Italian cycling, and I get in love, no, with Italy.
No, it's fantastic. The food is amazing, and the sceneries are stunning. And then you have also the Giro, the diversity in the climbs and the climate in May, because you can have rain, you can have snow, you can have cold temperatures, you can have everything, which is not going to happen at the Tour or the Vuelta. There, bad day when we're talking climate will be a very hot day, like you have in the Vuelta. So, which Giro climb is your favorite and why?
My favorite, difficult to choose one, but maybe Zoncolan.
What year?
2015. I was feeling super, but also 2017, but we did from the opposite way. Then in 2019 with Carapaz, he won that Giro. I was teamed with him. We did also quite good there. I think it's a perfect climb for me, very steep, quite long.
Do you like the climbs? Do you like the steeper climbs, like with the heavier gradient above 15%?
I prefer. There are climbs that everyone needs to take his pace. Yeah. Going on the wheel is not big difference. So I think it's a war between each one and himself.
So also here with the steep climbs was interesting, especially with you with 13 years as in the pro peloton and 14 years pro, including also Conti. How have you seen the evolution of bike equipment? Talking here about the compact gearing, which we didn't have 10 years ago, skinnier tires, a bit heavier bike. Going back and do the Zoncolan today, well, let's see, not in a race situation maybe, because everything is hard when you're racing, but in a training will be easy, will feel easier than it used to.
Yes, exactly. Now with the wearings we are using, you can do the climb you want. I mean, you can use a compact with a big chain on the back, light wheels. I think we have bigger choices to try to do the hardest climb. And then on the races, as always, what it makes it painful is the speed.
It is.
So I think nowadays we are doing very fast climbs. We are doing climbs 20 per hour, 25. So I still happy because we can find climbs like Zoncolan or Angliru, where the speed is lower.
So what is then on such a big, epic climb like the Zoncolan, Angliru, what is then the physical strategy, also when looking at some of the other guys, when you're playing the game, like pretending not to suffer, or pretending, is that this mental game? Is that something that you played on, or that you guys are playing when you're in the high mountains and you see that people start hurting?
Yeah, I think most of cyclists we think that we are the only ones suffering. No, you see the others around you and you say, "Fuck, I'm fucked," but you need to think that also the others are a fact. No, so it's always try to go longer in the effort, no? And every 5 minutes for sure someone is dropping or something is happening. So it's about doing a small goals, no, in your head to try to go longer and longer and keep going on time, no?
I've heard someone told me, and maybe I read it somewhere a long time ago, that sometimes you also reach out for your bidon or the water bottle, just showing that the other guys, you got extra energy, or is it just just to take a sip from your water bottle while everyone else is really sitting there at the...
Yeah, it can be.
Because it also shows the other that you got maybe those like few percents extra of, I don't know if it's something that you don't do that on purpose.
No. I heard also that when you drink something for 2 seconds or 3 seconds, you forget the fatigue.
Interesting. So maybe that's,
it helps to disconnect a little bit.
So also on a big climb, and especially like the Zoncolan, where only motorbikes are allowed to go up there with spare wheels, no team cars. How do you approach race strategy and decision making during critical moments in a race? Maybe we don't have the team car, you got the radio, but one thing is that you got the team director who's sitting way behind the front group or in the pack and cannot see what is happening, but you have to act on instinct. Is this something that is often taking place now? Because in the past, with no race radio, I think most riders were moving on instinct most of the time and talking to each other. But is this still something that is happening? Because I see a lot of the younger generation, they really stick to the race radio and they don't do anything that's not being told by the DS. How do you see that?
I think you need to have the ideas very clear, no, before the start. Who is gonna help someone in case of mechanicals? Who is the leader? Who needs to be support every time? And I think it's more or less easy, no? Once that is clear, no? I think every team we are riding like if we were just one, no? You need to keep the goal same, and if someone needs you, help him, no?
You're right. So Mikel, let's talk Grand Tours, because also Soudal Quick-Step brought you on to be the super domestic rider and helper of Remco, who I had on the podcast here earlier this morning. And we all know that Remco will be targeting the Tour. He will not do the Giro. Have you reconned already some of the stages or looked on the map on some of the stages of?
I have a look on Tour a little bit. I think this year was important to race more at the beginning with Remco to know better each one, and then be a perfect tandem, no, during the Tour.
So you would then be also following a little bit his race program maybe for the spring, and then go in altitude training with him in preparation for...
I think it's important to spend time together, because we cannot make mistakes during the Tour. And here on cycling the time go fast, so before we start, better.
Yeah, that's right. And then afterwards, then coming into the Vuelta, I mean, the biggest race in Spain, and with your home crowd and everything, that's also going to be very exciting. And the Vuelta has always been known for its very epic climbs. So how do you deal with hot weather? Because that's also part of the La Vuelta, with 40 plus degrees, 45 sometimes.
Maybe I suffer more than others, no, because there are riders that really like the hot. But in general, it's more comfortable than the really bad weather, no? Even if you are good in bad weather, I think it's more easier to keep it, no, the high temperature.
But you don't have any difficulty racing in hot weather?
No, not really.
Yeah. What about the Worlds? Because the World Championships in Zurich, the men's race especially, is packed with almost 4,400, almost 4,500 meters of elevation. Is that also somewhat a race that you will target, or is it lower down in your priority list of the season? Just coming out of the Vuelta.
I think I'm not really the best rider, no, in one-day races. I'm not really focused, no, on the Worlds, because I think it's difficult for me, but it's very hard World Championship this year, and I would like to be there. Also
because if you think about Innsbruck in 2018 with Valverde, I mean, of course there was also one big steep climb there, but there was also some big ones at the Zurich course. So again, everything can happen.
Yeah, sure. If you play, you can win.
Yeah.
You can be there, not doing a special race.
So let's talk about climbing training. And there are many good climbers in the sport, but there are only a few great climbers like yourself, those capable to climb all the mountains over a 3-week Grand Tour without losing much time to rivals, and be able to produce a long winning goal on the toughest slope deep into the race. And also meaning that you can keep consistent also the same numbers that you have in week one in the last week of the race. And I think also that's one of the reasons why Remco wants you by his side for also the Tour. What do you think? What makes a great climber? What are the skills of a good climber? You have to look at yourself.
I think, first of all, genetic. I think, every rider, we are different. Some of us, we are climbers. Others are sprinters, no? I think each of us, we are different. But if you have one big part from genetics, and other important thing is that you need to love the mountains, no? You need to love, you need to be passionate to climb, to see one mountain and see and think yourself, no, I want to arrive to the top. I want to cross this mountain. And then you need to be lighter, you need to be smooth on the bike, no? Trying to be consistent during the climb, not to go too deep at the beginning.
And wasting too much energy.
Yeah.
And have consistent power numbers, I think, also.
Yeah. More than power, I think is more about heart rate, no? Just to keep, because if you do climbs of half an hour or 1 hour, I think it's more important focusing in your heart rate and your possibilities, your feelings to arrive to the top quite fresh.
As fresh as you can be. And that also comes into play with the power to weight. Because I know also for the 2015 Giro, you had to lose a bit of weight to get in lean and get in shape. Is that difficult for you to keep that race weight for a Grand Tour? It's difficult to get to that point, to your perfect weight. What is your perfect Grand Tour race weight?
Yeah, around 61.
Yeah. And in the off season, how high would you usually go? Just a few kilos?
I go quite high, 66, 7.
Yeah. Is it difficult for you to lose those kilos then after?
Every year is more difficult.
It's the older you get, I think it's normal.
It's easy to gain, but difficult to lose. But I once I focus on the season, I start losing.
What's your favorite training session for climbing? You have to give a few tips here to all the cycling fans out there.
I like I live from my house. I do a small loop of around 1 hour and a half, more or less flat, to warm up a little bit, and then I have two climbs very close between them and close to my house. One is Orduña, is 8 kilometers climb, 8%, and then I have another one, 5 kilometers, 6%, Barrerilla. So I do once each one, stop for a coffee, then once again, 1 or 2, let's say, and then home.
How long does it take to do one climb, like the 8 kilometer?
One of them is 25 minutes, and the other one is 15 minutes. I like that training. Close to home, very nice.
And
views.
you've been doing that since you started, even in your early days riding amateur. Yeah, so you know them, but are you on Strava, Mikel? No? So we don't even know who has the KOM there, but I'm pretty sure that if you... Yeah, exactly. This is your home territory. That's nice. So would you then do I assume you do specific training efforts there, like in intervals? Maybe you would do some FTP, you would go above that, you do small accelerations. How would your program of the day look like when you hit those two mountains?
At the beginning of the season, I like a lot doing torque exercises with low cadence, playing with that.
So 50, 60 RPMs or... Okay.
Yeah. I think I feel more... I have more resistance. And then when the competition arrives, I used to do more 40-20 and threshold, those kind of exercises.
Yeah. Have you experienced your FTP drop as you're getting older, or is it more or less always within the same range when?
I think it's more or less the same, or even better. No, I think we improve a lot on trainings, on nutrition.
Yeah, correct.
And I think maybe it's gone a little bit better.
That's good. That's very motivating.
Yeah, it's motivating. It's motivating because you see that you improve, but also the young guys.
Yeah. Also the young. I mean, that's something completely new. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, cycling is changing, but you're still up there with the best. I mean, look at your result at La Vuelta last year. That was fantastic riding by you. And signing also 2 years for the team here for Soudal. It just shows you your commitment and your love for the sport. Your commitment also always to go beyond. So also your personal limits. That's good to see. When you go do your efforts, everything is pretty much dialed in, I assume. So maybe you go alone, or do you also go in group rides? What do you prefer?
I ride most of the days with someone, maybe not full day, but most part of the day. I train with other people. Most of them, they are not pro cyclists. They are just cyclotourists or friends. Because where I have those 2 climbs as we spoke before, we have also like a zero lap. We have a loop of 5 kilometers. So we are there doing laps, and I say, okay, I go up, and they wait me down. So when I come back down, I join
the group,
them again. Then I say, I'm gonna do another interval. So I go up, they wait me. We stop together for a fast coffee. So
this is nice.
That helps a lot.
I think that's probably also why you keep doing what you're doing, because you got the whole support from the local crowd and your family when you're home, and when you go to races, you're super concentrated and you're in the zone. And I think that's important to balance out a life on the road, especially for a pro cycler. So I think it's a very clever way of living and with remain in contact with your friends. So that's great. During training, of course, you use a power meter and you follow it. But you also said earlier, just like Pantani, he always said that he could not race with an SIM. He would always move on his instinct and how he felt with the body, because it's only the body that can tell. But I know that cycling has changed a lot over the last 20 years. But you use, of course, a power meter, but you also use the power meter in racing. You look at your power meter during a race when you sit up there in the front and pull on a climb.
Yeah, I look. I think I cannot say no, because I grew up with a power meter. Yeah, so I think it's very helpful not going too deep. Maybe take off a little bit of emotion on the races, but it is what it is.
Yeah. But sometimes you do feel maybe you have a little bit more, maybe your numbers are different. What would you do in such a situation? Would you just give that little bit extra because you have that personal feeling?
And we are not a robot. No, not all the days are the same. You cannot hold same power every day, because maybe you didn't sleep well, you didn't eat properly, or you are tired, whatever, no? So it's an advantage to know a little bit where you are, how much you are pushing, but we are humans.
Mikel, thank you so much for joining on. I know you got another appointment here in a few minutes. It was great to have you on, and actually I'm looking forward, if you're up for it, to have another interview later during the season. But it was definitely great to see you again. Thank you so much. And good luck for the season.
Thanks.
And again, if you have any questions that is Castelli related or ideas and stuff, just reach out to us through emails, WhatsApp, phone calls. We're always open for on-the-fly changes and improvements, how to make our clothing better. So that's good. Okay,
super.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thanks to you.
And that's a wrap of this week's episode. Stay tuned for another thrilling episode coming your way next week, featuring Ilse Plumers of the AG Insurance Women's Team. Ilse is a young and highly talented athlete who excels in both cyclocross and road cycling. With the cyclocross Worlds taking place in Tabor next week, we thought it would be a great time to talk about cyclocross and to get a little bit of education on the sport, so we know what we are watching when we are sitting back and enjoying the Worlds on television. So stay tuned for this episode dropping on Tuesday. Until then, take care and ride safe.